Today we're going to be looking at some of our lovely new embossing powders, Sizzix embossing powders that is, and we're going to be using our embossing pad as well as the acrylic block. And the stamp and die set I'm using today is Winter Trees, so there are 9 different dies and some lovely accompanying stamps. So I've attached my stamp to the acrylic block. And then we're going to take the embossing pad. I always like to take the pad to the stamp rather than the other way around. I can keep it level and even then. You don't want to put too much pressure. Okay, you just want to make sure you get complete coverage. And then we'll replace the lid. Now, before I actually stamp onto the card, I'm going to take this anti-static pad. There's a powder in here. And what it does, as the name suggests, it removes any static from your card, but also any oils that have transferred from your skin onto that, which the embossing ink, or the embossing powder rather, will attach to and actually dry it up. So you should get a lovely clean image. So there we are. I make my stamped image, and this time I'm going to be using this lovely green color. Let's bring in this little card as well, and we'll see why in a second. So I'm putting that there, sprinkle on the powder, and you can see this powder has a slight iridescence. So there's a bit of glitter, a bit of bling in there, and then we'll tip that off. Now, because we use the anti-static powder, you'll find that all those little bits that clinged previously actually fall away now, much better, because if you tap this too much to get those bits away, then the powder is going to fall away from your stamped image. So we'll open that back up and we can pour any excess powder back into the jar. Keep that nice and clean and put it to one side. Now, you probably see that I'm working on this lovely black silicone mat. This is from the glue gun accessory kit, and what it does, it creates a barrier between the surface you're working on and the heat so that it doesn't warp anything. And I'm also using my Sizzix Heat Tool, which has a dual setting, so I'm going to use the higher of the 2 settings, and I'm just going to move it over the stamped image, and slowly but surely we'll see that start, we'll see the powder start to melt, and work it down. And there we have it, that's all ready to go. So that's ready, and here is my die now. The dies and the stamps register together. So what I'm going to do is place it down like so, and take a piece of, this is washi tape. You could use a sticky notelet. It depends whatever your preference. And we'll move that in place before taking it to our Big Shot machine. So I'm using my fold-away machine today. So simply bring the wings around, clamp that in place. And I'll bring my card, which we made sure is firmly in place using the washi tape. Run it through the machine. Out it comes the other side. And there it is. Perfect, clean, crisp cut. So here we are, here's our tree cut. You can see that was with the green and this lovely mint color and the pink. So those are the 3 trees. We did them all in exactly the same way. Let's stick them to the front of our base card now. Take the largest of the 3 in the center. Like so, just peel the backing off these foam pads. There, that's the central one. We'll have the green tree, which we made a little earlier. That's next up. So we'll pop that in place. And finally, this lovely pink tree. I say finally, actually, there's one more thing to go. peel the backing off. Pop that in place, and while I've got this little sticky pad in my hand, we'll put it on the back of our star, which was also stamped and heat embossed with the pink embossing powder. And there we have it, simple, elegant, and that, my friends, is the power of embossing powder.